Let us solve the Cbse sample question paper for 2023. Today's topic is inverse trigonometric functions. You have already seen the question. They have described a certain situation in great detail. What is that situation? There is a temple which is 30 meters high, and there are two men standing on either side of the temple in such a way that the distance between them is 40 root 3. And the distance of the first man to the temple is 30 root 3. Now let us name these points. Now both of these men are looking up at the temple in such a way that the angle of elevation for the first person is alpha and the second person is beta. So both of them are here looking up at the temple, and angle of elevation for A is alpha and for C is beta. Now this much is the information which is given in the question. What else can you deduce from this? You can see what CD is. The whole distance is 40 root 3. This much is 30 root 3. So CD will be 10 root 3. And look at this particular triangle. ABD, it is a right angle triangle, and AB is its hypotenuse. So applying the Pythagoras theorem, you will get AB square is equal to BD square plus AD square, which is 900 plus 2700, which would be 3600. So AB is the square root of that, so it is 60. Now consider this triangle BCD, again a right angle triangle, and BC is the hypotenuse. So applying the Pythagoras theorem, you will get BC square is equal to BD square plus CD square, and that would be 900 plus 300, which is 1200, and its square root would be 20 root 3. So this is all you get from the question. Now let us start doing our MCQs. And what is the first question you have here? Alpha is sine inverse of what? So take sine alpha. It is opposite side. Alpha is here. Its opposite side by its hypotenuse, which is 30 divided by 60, which is half. So, but we need to find alpha, right? So we take sine inverse on both sides. So sine inverse of sine alpha is equal to sine inverse of half. But then sine inverse of sine alpha is alpha. And why is this possible? Because alpha belongs to the closed interval minus pi by 2, pi by 2. Now, why is this step important? Is sine inverse of sine theta equal to theta for any angle? No, that is not true. Why? Because sine inverse is a function which takes a number from the closed interval minus 1, 1 and maps it to an angle between minus 90 and plus 90. So when I say that sine inverse of sine theta is equal to theta, what am I actually saying? I am saying that this sine theta is a number from minus 1 to 1, and this theta is an angle from minus 90 to 90. Is this always the case? No. This part is fine. Sine theta will always lie between minus 1 and 1, whichever angle you take on this earth. However steep, however wide, however narrow, both the sine theta and the cos theta values will always lie between minus 1 to 1. So this part we are good. This is fine. But then this is a bit problematic. Theta may not always be between minus 90 and 90. What if it is 120? What if it is 130? So it lies outside the range of sine inverse. So then that case this will not happen. So sine inverse of sine theta will be equal to theta only if theta lies between minus 90 degrees to 90 degrees, only in this range. Outside this 120, 130, no, not possible. The same with cos. Cos inverse is a function which takes a number from -1, 1, the closed interval -1, 1, and maps it to an angle from 0 to 180 degrees. So, cos inverse of cos theta will be equal to theta only if cos theta lies in this interval and theta lies in this interval. This always true, we are safe. But this is a condition. So if you want your cos inverse cos theta to be theta, it has to lie in this range. Now comes the question, how do you know that alpha lies here? They have not said anything about the angle, right? That is what we are trying to find out. We are trying to find out what alpha is. So how do we know that alpha will lie between -90 degrees to 90 degrees? This is because we are talking about a human being and their angle of elevation. Both the angle of elevation and the angle of depression, at the most they can go up to 90. They cannot go more than that. Because they are human beings, right? If they are one of those characters from the Incredibles movie with elastic neck, and then they can turn their head all over the place. But with normal human beings, that is not going to happen. So this is your answer. Alpha is sine inverse of 1 by 2. The next question is, alpha is cos inverse of what? So cos alpha is adjacent side by hypotenuse, which is √3 by 2. So taking cos inverse on both sides, we get cos inverse of cos alpha is equal to cos inverse of √3 by 2. This would be alpha. So you have alpha as cos inverse of √3 by 2. This is possible. Why? Because alpha lies in the range of the cos inverse function, which is 0 to pi. So this is possible. Now we come to the third question, which is, what is beta? Beta is tan inverse of what? Tan beta is opposite side, which is 30, by adjacent side, which is 10 √3, that is 3 by √3, which is √3. So taking tan inverse on both sides, beta is equal to tan inverse of √3, but please notice this is possible. Why? Because beta lies in the open interval -pi by 2, pi by 2. Did you notice the difference between the range of sine inverse function and the tan inverse function? This is a closed interval. This is an open interval. What is the difference between a closed interval and an open interval? In a closed interval, the endpoints are included. That is what the word closed means, right? When a room is closed, people who are inside the room remain in the room. So -pi by 2 and pi by 2 belongs to this interval. But here -pi by 2 and pi by 2 are not apart. That is why we use this brackets. Why have we made that change? Why did we not include pi by 2 and -pi by 2 for the tan inverse functions? Why? Because if we take the tan of this angle, you know that tan pi by 2 is not defined. Why? It is 0 by 1 and it tends to infinity. So it is not defined. So for both -90 and 90, tan inverse is not defined. So please make sure that you put the open intervals for this. This brings us to our fourth question, which is, what is B? Consider the triangle ABC. So far we were considering two different triangles, right? Now consider the whole triangle ABC. So what will you have? Angle A plus angle B plus angle C will give you 180 degrees. But A is alpha and C is beta, and together they give you 180. But what is alpha? Alpha is sine inverse of half. You have it here. And what is beta? It was tan inverse of √3, right? Now, which angle has the sine value half? 30, right? Sine inverse of sine pi by 3. And which angle has the tan value √3? 60, right? Tan inverse of tan 60. So sine inverse of sine pi by 6 is pi by 6. And why is this possible? Because pi by 6 lies in the minus 90, 90 range. And tan inverse of tan pi by 3 is again equal to pi by 3. Why? Because this lies in the open interval minus 90, 90. This is equal to 180 degrees. 60 degrees plus 30 degrees give you 90 degrees. So angle B is 90 degrees. Or in other words, the whole triangle is a right angle triangle. This brings us to the last question, which is what is the domain and the range of the cos function? It is the closed interval 1, 1 and to the closed interval 0, pi. Remember, it is the closed interval, not an open interval. So with this, we come to the end of the first question. We go on to the second question. What is the second question? It talks about 3 engineers who are part of a project. And what is that project? They have to decide where to put up a hoarding on the wall of a building. So here you have the wall of a building and you have 3 engineers. They can't decide where to put up the hoarding. The first person wants to put up the hoarding 10 meters above ground. The second engineer wants to put it even higher. The third one wants to put it even higher. Now, there is a man standing at a distance of 20 meters from this building. So here a man is standing at 20 meters. Let us name these points. Now, his angle of elevation to C is alpha. His angle of elevation to D, will it be more or less than alpha? He has to look even up, right? So it will be even more. So that will be 2 alpha. And his angle of elevation to E, he has to look even more up. So that will be 3 alpha. So you have CAB is alpha, DAB is 2 times alpha, and CEAB is 3 times alpha. Now we come to the first question. Angle CAB is equal to tan inverse of what? So angle CAB is actually alpha, right? So alpha is equal to tan inverse of what? So what is tan alpha? Opposite side by adjacent side. So that is equal to 1 by 2. So now taking the tan inverse on both sides, what do you get? Tan inverse, tan inverse. Now this is the angle of elevation. So it will lie between minus 90 to 90. So we are safe here. The angle of elevation and the angle of depression are in the same range. So you don't have to worry about that. So you have alpha is equal to tan inverse of 1 by 2. This brings us to the second question. Before that, I would just want to remind you of 2 important formulas that I'm sure you have learnt by now. It is tan inverse of x plus tan inverse of y. So what is this x and y here? X x is a number, so tan inverse of x is an angle. Y is a number, so tan inverse of y is an angle. So you have this is equal to tan inverse of x plus y by 1 minus xy. But please be careful, it comes with a catch. And what is that? Its denominator has to be always positive. That means 1 has to be always greater than the product of x and y. What happens? It is not like that. What happens if xy is greater? For example, what if xy is this? This is what? It will be 3.5, right? Or 4 or 5. What if xy is greater than 1? Then what do we do? It is pretty much the same. Just add a pi to it. Then you are safe. So if you add a pi to it, that is the formula. And a certain condition, what if x and y are equal? So wherever you have y, you put x. X plus x, and x into x is x square. So what will this become? This will become tan inverse of x plus tan inverse of x will be 2 tan inverse of x. And this will become tan inverse of x plus x is 2x by 1 minus x square. But remember, what is the catch? 1 minus x square will always be greater than 0, or in other words, x square has to be less than 1. It cannot be greater than 1. You have to check that before you apply this formula. But if it turns out to be greater than 1, you know what to do. Add a pi to it. So, please remember this formula. We are going to use it. What is the second question? The second question is DAB is tan inverse of what? Now tan DAB is what? How do we do it the usual way? Opposite side by adjacent side. That is DB by AB. AB is good, but we have no idea what DB is. Only this much we know. So we cannot use this formula. But then what else do you know about DAB? It is equal to 2 alpha. And what is alpha? It is tan inverse of half. Apply the tan inverse of x formula. It is tan inverse of 2 into x by 1 minus x square. That is equal to tan inverse of 2 into half is 1 and 1 minus 1 by 4. X square is 1 by 4. So 1 minus is 3 by 4. So this is tan inverse of 4 by 3. And remember, before applying it, make sure that x square is less than 1. Is it less than 1? X is half. So this is, yeah. So we are safe here. This is less than 1. So you can apply this. So DAB is tan inverse of 4 by 3. Now we come to the third question. And what is the third question? What is EAB? Again, we cannot use the usual method of opposite side by adjacent side. We cannot use that because we have no idea what EB is. So what do we know? We know that EAB is 3 alpha, which is 3 tan inverse of half. Express it as the sum, express 3 as the sum of 1 plus 2. Express this as tan inverse of half plus 2 times tan inverse of half. And what do you know that to be? You already know that, right? 2 tan inverse of half, you have found out that to be tan inverse of 4 by 3. Again, apply the same formula, tan inverse of x plus tan inverse of y, that is tan inverse of their sum. Half plus 4 by 3, that would be 3 here, 8 here, that would be 11 by 6 by 1 minus their product would be 2 by 3. That would be tan inverse of 11 by 6 into 3 by 1. So this is the answer. And EAB is tan inverse of 11 by 2. This brings us to the fourth question, which is about another person who is standing a bit more away from the first person. You see there is A already standing here, looking at C with the angle of elevation alpha. Now there is a road. That road is 5 meter, its width is 5 meter, and there is a person standing here. That person is A dash, and that person is also looking at C in such a way that his angle of elevation is alpha dash. So now the question is, what is the difference between alpha and alpha dash? When we say difference between alpha and alpha dash, will it be alpha minus alpha dash or alpha dash minus alpha? Which one will be greater? The more you move towards anything, the more you have to bend your neck to see it, right? So the angle of elevation will be more. So the nearer you go, the angle of elevation will be more. So alpha will be more than alpha dash. So, but what is alpha? We already know it to be tan inverse of half. And what is alpha dash? What is that? We can express it as tan inverse of its opposite side by its adjacent side. That is 10 by its adjacent side is 5 plus 20, which is 25. That is equal to tan inverse of 1 by 2 minus tan inverse of 2 by 5. Now the same formula that you can use for tan inverse of x plus tan inverse of y. What is that? Tan inverse of their sum by 1 minus their product. But instead of x, if you put minus x, what will you happen? This will become minus. Wherever you have minus, it will become plus, and wherever you have plus, it will become minus. So this will be your formula. Just interchange the signs. All the plus become minus and all the minus become plus, and this condition also changes. Make sure that it is strictly greater than 0. Will it be strictly greater than 0? 1 plus x into y is what? Half into 2 by 5, which is 1 plus 5, which is 6 by 5. It is strictly greater than 0. Or in other words, all you have to do is make sure xy is greater than minus 1. What is xy? 6 by 5, right? So it is greater than minus 1. So we are safe here. So you can apply the formula. And what is the formula? Tan inverse of their difference by 1 plus their product, which is cut 1 by 5, which is tan inverse of 5 minus 4, it is 1 by 10 by 6 by 5, which is tan inverse of 1 by 10 into 5 into 6. So this is equal to tan inverse of 1 by 12. Please note that the option that they have given in the paper is not right. It is tan inverse of half. By the answer which they have given, that will be correct only if this person stands in a different position, stands nearer. So otherwise you will not get that the answer that they have given in the question paper. So this is our fourth question. This brings us to our last and final question in the inverse trigonometric functions, which is what? The domain and the range of tan inverse. The domain is the whole of the real numbers, and its range is, remember, open interval, not closed interval. So with this we come to the end of inverse trigonometric functions.